For my training session of 8 weeks, it will be split into 2 parts, 2 microcycles, and each session will have a warm-up and cool-down. A warm-up of 20 minutes with a pulse raiser with touching cones between a distance, dynamic stretches mainly in the shoulder region, and we'll be working on bowling, which is mainly an upper body drill, and a sport-specific drill, which will be throwing and catching a ball between partners to get a feel for the ball and feel like you're starting to play cricket. This warm-up will help you not get injured throughout the game and help stop reversibility. It will also help the vasodilation of capillaries and letting blood go around your body to the working muscles. This will be done every session, including a cool down, which will just be working on muscles and stretching muscles, dynamic kind of stretching. As it is the cricket off season, I'll be having 2 drills per week, as my performer will not be doing any other vigorous exercise within the week. My first drill will be running up, working on footwork on the run up, and where the shoulder is going over the arm. It'll be running between a cone pathway to keep the run up straight, so they don't fall away from the crease like we said in the weaknesses earlier on. This would be a high organised skill, so we'll go through it part practice. There's also a closed skill, so we can work on it in mass practice as well. As it will be a cognitive learner at this phase in time, it will have positive feedback, a lot of it, and visual guidance in the demonstrations. The straight run up will improve bowlers' balance and will ultimately cause deliveries to be in the correct line of the pitch. And having smooth footwork will allow the bowler to improve balance and have a smooth execution. The second session of the week will be circuit training, which involves press-ups, planks and sit-ups. Throughout the week, this will change as the sessions will get harder and intensity will rise. We'll have heavier weights for the machines, and this one will be at upper body. This will be when our first test will occur, and it will be bowling aiming into a circular target. So we're working on the pitch and hoping that we'll get a score out of 10. I'm not expecting for much, as I will want a progression to occur in the later weeks, but it's good getting a visualization of where the bowler is at and what stage they are at. For week 2, our first session of the week will be a drill with still running up, but I'll include a ball to progress the learner. I'll trust that footwork will be completed, but the cone pathway will still be there, so we're really working on the balance and having a very straight run up. The teaching point will be smooth footwork will keep it going and keeping the execution phase smooth and coordination good. And it will be a mass practice, and the demonstration will be in place, so the ball will still be bowled every time, and I will show the release point of the ball. I will be able to motivate the performer, as I will talk about the ECB cricket board, and as there have been no Olympic funding, and it's not an Olympic sport, but you can still play for England in World Cup and test competitions such as the Ashes, motivate them by that. And then the second session of the week will be a circuit training. We will be working on the legs to get that speed. We'll be working on shuttle jumps, shuttle runs, calf raises, box jumps and lunges, varying between them to stop tedium from occurring. That'll be the end of that session. Week 3, I'll include wickets for something to aim at, as the bowlers won't just be bowling to a friend anymore, they'll be bowling at a stumps. This will help motivation. If they hit the wickets, they'll feel more motivated to perform it again. And it will also need visual guidance and demonstrations, as I will show them how to perform it at bowling at a stump. I will also at this week inform them that they should change their diet and including more carbohydrates to help anaerobic and aerobic energy systems, and protein for the second sessions, which will be circuit training. The second session of the week will be upper body again, working on the same sets with press-ups, planks and sit-ups, but I'll be starting to include heavier weights for the machines and changing the kind of machines to stop tedium. I will include information about dietary needs again, as I will be focusing on protein, repairing and growing muscles, which I will need to make my bowler be quicker and stronger while bowling. Week 4, we'll start off with using my second test, which will be the same as on the week 1, where they'll be aiming into a target on this vert to work on pitch. I'll be hoping for progression and checking the reversibility hasn't recurred, and I want a 25% increase from the first week, so I'll be pushing my performer to do this. As it is the 4th week and I'm hoping that my bowler has progressed, I will now include a batsman for them to try and get out and motivate them to get a wicket more. It will be a varied match-like session, and I'll have a lot of positive feedback as I want to push, as it will be a big step up for them and I want to push this and tell them what they're doing right. I will then end the week with a circuit training session, working on legs again. Last circuit training of my training session, and I just want a lot more shuttle runs and just longer periods. This will be a 40-minute session this time, working hard and overloading them. As it is now week 5 and we've finished our first microcycle, we'll be changing the drill to a releasing the ball drill. This will be a mass practice at the start for more cognitive learners, and we'll be working its progressive part session. As we'll be on the knees, bouncing the ball while holding the seam in the correct position. So for first on, we'll be just throwing it down, just working completely on hand position and ball position. This will give linear motion as the ball should move straight, and I'll be using verbal guidance while the drill takes place, telling where to hold it and where to bounce the ball. This will be followed by free weight training. This first session will be on biceps. Free weights helps posture and alignment, and it will build muscle in crucial areas for bowling to add speed and strength. For week 6 session, we'll still be working on releasing the ball, but we will now have a ball and we'll be releasing it at the same point. We're aiming at the stumps. And we still want to work on that linear motion, making it go down as quickly as we can in a straight line. We're aiming at the stumps for motivation and just trying to get all our stuff together, getting the run up and the release point and the speed all together. It'll be a closed practice as there'll be no more environment. We'll just be massing, we'll just mass over and over again, bowling at the stumps, working on all the techniques we have learned. We'll also have a free weight session later on in the week, working on shoulder, working on fixator muscles in the shoulder. That's what we're focusing on, building muscle there. And free weights has helped fixator muscles perfectly, and we should get more speed because of it. Week 7, we'll be working on a different release point, working on a bit getting spin and variation, which he was poor on earlier on. We'll be working on different ball positions and hand movements throughout, so getting some angular motion using eccentric force by applying pressure away from the centre of mass. This will help with the spin ball and manipulating the flight path to full batsmen and get wickets. This will be a varied practice, as it'll be more match-like. We'll be doing a few of the two, and we'll be working on different things. Still bowling at a wicket, so we'll still get motivation from that as well. Then later on in the week, there will be a free weight deadlift on the back training to build fixated muscles in the back and help with power while going through. This will work on speed and will build muscle. This is where protein comes into play, where you'll have to be eating a lot of protein to repair the muscles and grow strength in these muscles, so that we're not training this for no reason. Week 8 will be the final test, our third test. We'll be aiming at the targets and getting a score out of 10. We're bowling into the correct areas. I'm hoping for a 50% increase since the first session, as I want progression to be seen and no reversibility to be seen. In my sessions in week 8, we'll be using the new techniques we learned of ball position and hand position, so we'll be bowling at batsmen to try and fool the batsman and get wickets. As earlier on, the speed and the falling away from the wickets and the balance were meaning that we weren't getting enough wickets. So now, this week 8 will be our chance to get some wickets off batsmen and get some batsmen out. It'll be varied match-like practice, as you're trying to get wickets from both linear and angular motion. And this was when we'll be seeing progression, and we will alert the players of this transfer, and this progression will be saying, so this is what it takes to be an England performer, and hopefully sometime play in World Cups where England play. Also, our last free weight training will be chest press, building muscles around the chest to get that power and that bowling working and it's quick to get more wickets.